2024 with my good bud, Andrea Buckett. Andrea, I'm so amped that you're here.
So excited to be back.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh. Well, happy 2024.
Happy New Year. We're here.
We're here.
It's going to be a great year.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, first off, what's the difference between a fad and a trend?
Okay, so a fad is something that comes and goes. It's like a flash in the pan. People get really excited about it, but it doesn't last that long. So, for instance, think about the TikTok butter trend. Oh, fad. Sorry, fad.
Butterboard fad.
That came last year, but it came and it went.
Do you know
right?
two people who didn't love the butterboard? These two. Yeah.
Not a fan of the butterboard.
No.
If you did it, no shade.
Yeah.
But we're not a fan.
No, I just rather eat my butter.
Exactly. And so that's a fad. And a trend is something that's a little bit more lasting. It might come down from a restaurant. It might come from consumer goods. But then you see it like percolate into a bunch of different areas, and that stands the test of time. So something like an air fryer, we've seen it trending for the last 5 years. People love them, can't get enough of them. Lots of air fryer recipes. That's more of a trend.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, so today you're going to talk about a couple different food trends. So let's start with convenience food.
Yes.
This is an interesting one for you.
Yeah, I love a convenience food. You know, people think because we cook all the time, we're not into them, but we absolutely love them. And what we're seeing is that we're getting sort of an upgraded convenience food. So people want the experience of going out to a restaurant, but not necessarily going to that restaurant. Also, conversely, the restaurants are creating some of the best food and then putting it on sale for consumer goods in grocery stores. So let's start with some gourmet pizza, right? Everyone loves a little pizza on a Friday night.
Totally.
And if you don't want to make it from scratch, but you still want that restaurant experience, go head out to your supermarket or little bodega and find those little restaurants that are producing great little pizzas. This is a little sourdough action, so it has a bit more flavor.
Yeah.
The toppings are a little bit more unique, yes. Everyone loves a good pizza. That's a great start. One of my faves, okay? I grew up in Scarborough, so Jamaican patties, I'm all about them.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. Shout out to Warden Subway Station.
Warden Station.
Okay, when I was growing up, that's where I used to get them.
Yeah.
So this has created a little bit more small batch, a little bit more quality ingredients, a little bit more pricey, but they're super delicious and have all those yummy flavors we love Jamaican patties to have. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are loving that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, dumplings are definitely having, you know, a big resurgence. Everyone's cooking them. My kids cook them for like snacks. Easy to get. This is a small batch produced dumpling. This is shrimp. We've got some pork ones. And then you can pair that with something else that's also trending, which is like little chili crisps.
Oh, beautiful.
That textural spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're good to go.
Know who else loves a dumpling?
Who?
Myra Berg.
Ooh, Myra.
She loves making a dumpling.
Yeah, they're so good.
Any night she's like, we're busy, and she's like, you want me to make dumplings? And we're like, yes, Mom.
A little bit of stock, and you can make a soup out of them.
Perfect.
But they're excellent, and a nice little restaurant experience at home.
I feel like this, just for dinner, would be perfect.
All of it?
All of it.
All right.
Yeah. All right, now moving on, we're going to talk about what you call functional foods.
Yeah, so a functional food is a food that has ingredients above and beyond fats, proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals.
Okay.
So they typically have something, we'll take like a blueberry, for example, that has that gorgeous blue color. That's the antioxidant. That's the functional part of the food.
Yeah.
Lots of food has them. We love mushrooms because they're showing to have great benefits in terms of supporting the immune system. There's been some studies that suggest that they support cognitive abilities and reduce cognitive impairment as we age. You know, I love mushrooms.
I just love mushrooms, too.
You know why?
Yeah, why?
They're fun guys.
Oh, geez.
But there's a whole different variety of mushrooms, and depending on which one you're eating, they all have different sort of attributes that make them good for you. We have enoki here. We've got cremini. We've got shiitake, oyster.
My fave.
Yeah. And then the king oysters, which are super delicious. I like to cut these really thin, put them on a sheet pan, a little bit of salt and oil, and make little mushroom chips.
Oh.
They make the best umami like garnish.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and truthfully, I say garnish, but you're not going to be able to stop.
You just eat them off the pan, straight off the pan. Beautiful. Okay, and what do we have here?
So sour power is sort of the next big flavor coming to like lots of different dishes in restaurants.
Yeah.
You and I use lemon a lot, balsamic vinegar to add that acidity. Think of things like ferments. So here we have some kimchi, we have some sauerkraut, and some fermented pickles. Kimchi, of course, a great Korean condiment. I love to put a little bit in that a burger to add that umami pop. Because citrus adds that like next layer of flavor that just makes everything sing.
It really does, but I also, you never think of the fact that like a lot of like pickles and fermented things have that sour note.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you can use that as a flavor enhancer as well.
Beautiful.
And then the one that's really great, which is very common in Caribbean cuisine, Southeast Asian, Thai, is tamarind. Right? You guys, ooh, some crack that open.
Yeah.
So tamarind is this nice little seed. I'll open it up here, and it has this date sort of texture inside. Cool. It's sweet and sour and really tart.
Yeah.
Right, and you see it in chutneys and candies, and you can also eat it just like that. It's a great like sweet and sour bite.
If you're a sour candy lover, you'll love tamarind.
You will.
For sure, yeah.
So
Beautiful.
that's great to add to your sour repertoire, and you can get that at most grocery stores in the concentrated paste form. Shall we make something?
I think we should make something,
Yeah.
Andrea Buckett.
Let's do it.
So like, if you're gonna ask me what I want to eat, and I feel like we're already gonna do it, it's something with this tamarind, and then my favorite mushrooms over here, the oysters.
I got you covered, Mary
Okay,
Berg.
perfect. Love it, Andrea Buckett.
Okay, so we're gonna do a savory tamarind oyster skewer.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start with our tamarind in here, and we just use the concentrated paste and whisk that together with a little bit of warm water to break it apart. If you get the little seeds in there, they can be quite hard. You're just gonna strain them out.
Okay.
Okay, so to balance out that sweetness and tartness, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna add a little bit of tamari.
Beautiful.
You can absolutely use naturally fermented soy sauce, but I like the tamari. It has a kind of more robust flavor. You know, our favorite, garlic.
Garlic and onion powder.
And onion powder.
If you're chopping your onions, you're me earlier. Just get the powder and you're good to go.
A little bit of honey just to sort of like, here we go.
We got it, we got it.
It's always
Just
good
to
have-
sweeten it up extra?
Yeah, just to give it a little bit more of that nuanced sweetness. A couple of tablespoons of oil, because we know like mushrooms will drink this up like no one's business. And this little bit here, this is not really sour, but it does have sort of a lemony undertone. And it's toasted cumin, or no, coriander seeds.
Yeah.
And it's sort of one of those main ingredients that you get in Montreal steak spice.
Yeah.
So it sort of gives you that meaty bite that I love so much.
Also, if you're someone who doesn't like cilantro, fun fact, the coriander seed is the seed of the cilantro, but it doesn't taste like cilantro.
Exactly.
So still give it a go.
I'm just gonna
I promise
pop
you,
this-
it doesn't have that soapy flavor. It's lemony, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice and lemony. It has a nice sort of earthy tone as well. Then you're just
done.
going to pop your mushrooms into it. You can just grab a few here if you want.
Oh my gosh, I just ate some. That's so good.
That delish?
Yeah. I didn't know if I was supposed to, but I ate it. Yeah.
There's nothing in there that's going to hurt you. So yeah, so these are your oyster mushrooms, and they come in like a hand like this. And you said you like to grill them whole, which is great.
I do, yeah.
But you can just pull them off and then pop them in a nice big feathery, it looks like a little turkey feather.
It does kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call it an oyster mushroom.
I
It
know.
doesn't really look like an oyster.
And you're going to toss those and let those sit for about 20 or 30 minutes.
Beautiful.
I mean, you could do it with other styles of mushroom as well.
Then we skewer them up, and then we've
Skewer
got
them
them
up.
over here.
Put them over here on a nice pan. You're going to cook them from 15 to 20 minutes. Not too hot because that sweetness will tend to burn a little bit, but Mary Berg.
Oh, look at that caramelization.
Look at how delicious that is.
Doesn't that look like a kebab? Like it looks
So good.
just meaty and
Yeah.
delicious.
And it is, and it's nice and meaty, and mushrooms are a nice replacement for meat if you're trying to cut back or eat more plant-based.
Now, how would you serve this with a little bit of some, maybe even just in the pan? Oh man, Andrea Buckett, we're
Let's
doing
bring
it.
this to you. Serve it on here, a little appy. This could also be a nice main.
Beautiful.
And we're going to garnish just with a little bit of sesame seeds. I always like a little garnish because it just brings everything to life.
It really does.
You guys, can I bring you home with me?
Yeah. All right, Andrea Buckett, this
Ta-da.
looks so good. I'm gonna eat a skewer.
Do it.
Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.